Hello and welcome, aspirants, to today's Masterclass Explainer right here at Rungta IAS Academy. I am joined by my esteemed colleague, and today we're diving deep into some absolutely critical data for your GS Paper 3 economy and internal security preparation. Thank you, sir. Hello, everyone. Let's get right into it, shall we? The data we're unpacking today is literally essential for your upcoming mains.
Right off the bat, we need to critically evaluate this policy's success by asking a very straightforward question. Did it actually achieve its core objective of wiping out counterfeit notes?
Exactly. And as UPSC aspirants, you simply can't rely on general rhetoric. We have to look at the hard data to answer this.
Okay, so quickly note down today's syllabus mapping. We're going to move step by step from the GS3 syllabus context into the latest NCRB counterfeit currency data, analyze denomination trends, look at statewide seizure patterns, check out the surge in cash circulation, and finally, discuss the mains and interview application.
All right, moving into Section 1, GS3 syllabus context. Let's first ground our discussion because, as we always say, context is everything in the civil services exam.
So recall back to November 8, 2016. The primary assault launched then was specifically aimed at choking the circulation of black money and fake currency. The overnight withdrawal of the old 500 and 1,000 rupee notes was a massive macroeconomic shock.
Correct, sir. But if we look at this recent authoritative report from The Hindu, which cites NCRB data, we can clearly see the problem is far from solved. It brilliantly illustrates the gap between that initial policy intent and the ground reality we're seeing almost a decade later. Now, on to Section 2, NCRB counterfeit currency data. Let's look closely at these hard numbers, because your arguments must be anchored in official reports. Look at this. A staggering total of 638 crore rupees worth of fake currency has been seized by authorities since 2017. That is a massive volume of counterfeit money still circulating in the economy post-demonetisation.
Rightly pointed out. And what's really concerning is the timeline here. The year 2022 alone saw a massive spike with seizures valued at a whopping 382.6 crore rupees. Remember, this was 2 years after the COVID-19 pandemic broke out, which clearly indicates a severe resurgence in illicit syndicates. Proceeding to Section 3, analyzing denomination trends. Let's examine the evolving tactics and the modus operandi behind these internal security threats.
So, despite the introduction of brand new security features, the new 500 rupee series makes up 37% of counterfeits detected in banks. That's followed closely by the 100 rupee notes at 26%. It's pretty clear the counterfeiters have quickly adapted to the new designs.
Aspirants, please mark this trend carefully in your notes. The counterfeiting of the newly introduced 500 and even 200 rupee notes shows that significant vulnerabilities still exist. I mean, the volume of fake 500s in 2024 is almost 4 times what it was back in 2016.
Which brings us to Section 4, statewide seizure patterns. We really have to look at the spatial dimensions here, because crime doesn't just happen in a vacuum.
Absolutely, sir. Geographic data is so crucial for your state-specific security analysis. Gujarat accounts for more than half of all fake money seized in the entire country, sitting at 355.72 crore rupees. It towers over Maharashtra at 100 crore and Karnataka at 50 crore.
Let's move on to Section 5, Surge in Cash Circulation. Now we're shifting our focus to the macroeconomic goal of creating a less cash economy. This was, of course, a vital pillar of the whole demonetization exercise. Right. If we compare the RBI data from the time of demonetization to May 2024, the contrast is quite stark. We went from 17.74 lakh crore rupees to 42.12 lakh crore. And the crucial takeaway here is this staggering 137% increase in cash in circulation. This clearly shows us that the objective of bringing down currency transactions hasn't quite had the desired impact. Cash, it seems, is still very much king in the Indian economy.
Finally, Section 6, mains and interview application. So, how do we synthesize all this dense data into a high-scoring mains answer?
You've got to structure your arguments around the failure to curb cash reliance by quoting that 137% surge. Mention the persistent security threat to the new denominations, and of course, highlight the absolute need for state-specific interventions like targeted border policing in hotspots like Gujarat.
Now, take a moment to ponder how you would present a balanced, data-backed response to this question if asked by the UPSC interview board. You must remain neutral, avoid the political rhetoric, and just impartially report the NCRB and RBI facts exactly as we've laid them out today. Keep revising these figures, aspirants, and best of luck with your GS3 preparations.